Hello, everyone. Rob here. This is a somber edit into the beginning of the episode. The episode you're getting ready to watch, I had wanted to bring this up during the recording of the episode, and we got to talking, and it just kind of slipped my mind. It was something that I had information set off to the side that I wanted to say, and it's about the passing of Karl Cochran that happened almost 3 weeks ago at the time that you are hopefully watching this. He passed away on February 19th of 2025 in a car accident. And anybody obviously that follows KISS and really is, a KISS nerd like all of us knows that Karl Cochran was the bass player for Ace Frehley during the Ace Frehley Peter Criss tour and the few previous tours before Ace and Peter would rejoin KISS for the reunion tour. Had wrote some songs with Ace. I think there was a song called Sister that was floating around that Karl had written. And then if you know your KISS history enough, that when the Psycho Circus album came out, Karl Cochran helped pen Into the Void with Ace. And he also played, Karl also played with Joe Lynn Turner. But for me, the big thing is he also played with my boy, Eric Singer, for the Eric Singer project, Eric's solo album band. This was there's Karl down here at the bottom with John Corabi, Eric Singer, and Bruce Kulick. And a great album, classic songs from the 70s that they, all four of them take turns on lead vocals throughout various songs. And Karl is just a treat on this album. I got a chance to see one of their only 2, maybe 3 U.S. shows. They may have done a couple others that I'm aware of, but they did 2 at the Indianapolis KISS Expo. One when they were just known as the band. I think that John Corabi was just a trio of Karl, Eric, and Bruce. And then John Corabi came up for a couple songs, and they had this idea of putting the ESP Eric Singer project together. And the next year in 98, that's when I was there and saw the Eric Singer project officially as they were having a release party for their album, which I've got just off to the wall. The first original album, I'll try to put because they had re-released it a couple times. They're having a signing party, and I've got a picture right over here that I got signed by the whole band. That's for the reissue of the album. And it was great. They played a lot of KISS tunes, obviously, and then songs from the ESP album, and then some of their other favorite songs from each of their, spotlight years. And it all kind of started the Eric Singer project with Karl on this Ace Frehley tribute album, Return to the Comet. And Karl and Eric would do Strange Ways, and then they did Lover All I Can. Eric played drums and sang lead and or backing vocals, and Karl did everything else on the album, all the guitars, all the bass, and he actually sings the lead vocals on Lover All I Can. It's a fantastic 2 covers on this Ace Frehley tribute album with a lot of people on this album. So if you haven't ever checked this out, this is really cool. Eric appears quite a bit on one track with Gilby Clarke for Rocket Ride. He goes under the name of Doyle Harris, which is kind of a funny, one of his stage names he used. But about Karl, just what a cool, great guy, going through the line, getting the album signed by the band was really cool. And Karl was just so friendly and cool to the KISS fans. And of everybody that I was talking to at the line, I think the line was holding up. I was right in front of Karl the longest because the line was, getting long for Eric and John and Bruce. And Karl was just chatting with fans. It was just really cool. And then getting a chance to hear him sing later that night was just mind-blowing, thinking, wow, this guy has such a great voice live. So this episode's a little long. This is actual audio. I might have the footage. I did film the 1998 KISS Expo, and it was a really cool thing to see. When the reunion tour was happening and Union was going on, they put this Eric Singer project together, and getting to see Eric and Bruce play together again live was really cool. But there was something electric about Karl, so wanted to pay a moment of respect for Karl Cochran, just a tragic story, losing him in the car accident, and had come through such adversity too, with a stroke a few years prior, and was slowly starting to make his way back to hopefully to be able to play some music again. And then to lose him it was really sad, not only for the rock world. Like I said, he played with Joe Lynn Turner and countless other people as well. So his music will live on. This is for you, Karl. Moment of silence here. Thanks. So I'm currently editing this episode, so the episode might be a little long because of this, but this just feels it's the right thing to do. So here's one of the songs that Karl sings from the 1998 Indianapolis Kiss Expo that I was at, so I hope you enjoy this.
E.S.P. record that's here and everything. It's all part of a cover record. You know, it's all cover songs, stuff that we were really influenced by. And you know that, besides including a couple Kiss things and having Ace Frehley on the record, which is kind of cool. But the only Hendrix song we'll do today is this one from the Fillmore East Live, something called Changes that Karl's going to sing. Not a very well-known Hendrix track, but a really cool one. That's when Buddy Miles was playing drums and all. So when you guys are ready, Eric Singer, please.
Hey, you're a crab. Hey, Jay, think about it. You're a crab. Hey, fucking bottom feeder, all right? All right, screw it. I don't need water. Well, my mind is going through the changes.
there's a little thing called the Nine.
Donington. I'm like dressed to kill right now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Right Between the Eyes podcast, the KISS podcast, where we love it loud. We're getting reintroduced here, folks. It is 2025. We're in the month of February, and it's a good month for the Carusos. I mean, Nikko, you're more of a November kid, so we're not.
I am a November kid.
This is Right Between the Eyes, a podcast with three generations telling you why we love it loud. Welcome to episode 65. Hiccups, starts, and stops. It's fine. It's just like, just pretend we've been on COVID. We have a show, we don't have a show, we have a show, we don't have a show. It's great to be in a new year. Hopefully the new year treated you both well, that Santa Claus gave you some wonderful toys to play with.
Absolutely.
Let's just go around the room. Mr. Caruso, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing good, and it's been a bittersweet year for me. Actually, going into the year, we suffered the tragic loss of our king, Sully, our dog. And,
yeah.
So that was kind of tough, you know. And then so we've been dealing with that, and then of course I'm grappling with the idea that I turned 60, which
how does that happen?
It's just a mess. Like you said, it's episode 65. I was born in 1965, and so it's kind of a trip to my head, you know, that because I think I'm like 18 or 19, so I still feel really good, and I am really psyched about this year being kind of like a 50-year milestone for our guys, for our group that we do this podcast about. So we were talking about it a little bit off air, but I feel completely like regenerated, and I think that this is going to be a good year. There's a lot of things to talk about, I think, in terms of things that may come out. There's a lot of anniversaries to celebrate. We've got to get back on track with our monthly things that we were doing and keep these yearly traditions up. So this is fun, Robin. I miss you, Robin. You also had a birthday.
I did.
You're 60, my guy. You're a lot younger. But
I turned the big 5-1, and I spent it on a couch under a blanket going, this sucks. I was sick for like 4 or 5 days.
It sucks. Yeah, that does.
I remember being at work on a Wednesday, and my boss was like, you don't look so good. And I was like, just half joking. I'm like, if I feel the way that I feel right now, I'm not coming in tomorrow. Haha. He's like, take the sick hours if you got them. So I put them in, woke up Thursday, and I was like, thank God I filled that out. I thought I'll be better by my birthday on that Monday on the 10th. And I just got worse and worse.
Damn.
So if at the time that you are, we'll get to Nikko in just a second, but the time that you are watching this, I put up a little video that we kind of floated my birthday till last weekend. And I was sitting on the couch looking at a record store. It's about 2 hours away, and they put up, I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen the little thing, it's only about a half hour. They put up Hot in the Shade. Still had the original cellophane on it, first pressing. I looked at my wife, she's like, okay, let's go. So we drove all the way to Columbus, about 2 hours away, and on their back wall, the record store is called Spoonful of Records. I'll try and put it here on the screen if you're watching it on YouTube. But one of the owners is an artist, and she said, oh, you're a big KISS fan. She goes, I fixed the first album for you. So she had this gigantic, not for me, but she has a gigantic mural, and she painted the front album cover that's, you know, celebrating 51 years now.
51, yeah.
Which that's going to be a little topic here in just a second. But what she did, she goes, I always thought Peter Criss's makeup was so stupid. So she took off the extra stripes and made him look like he did on the Hotter Than Hell cover with his makeup. And she goes, you being a KISS fan, I fixed it for you. Just like,
That's cool.
it was kind of, if I could find the photo, I'll put it up here so you can kind of see it. But Nikko, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Happy to be back. We missed you, Rob. It's been a long time coming, but we're back. We're more fired up than ever. We're just getting started. That's what we like to always say. Yeah, I'll echo what my dad said. The beginning of the year, a little rough. I was able to go home and spend a couple more days with Sully still before Christmas, before we lost him, and kind of a strange holiday season after that, but my dad's 60th was a lot of fun. It was some unexpected characters arrived, which is just more like a family inside joke, but it was something out of a movie in terms of people who cameoed, which was funny. And then the January was just like getting through January, and February has just been getting through February. But so we're okay. But it was funny. We talked, I think, when we did the 1 year anniversary of Rosemont. We talked about how sometimes time away and sometimes things like help. And I'm pretty fired up about KISS going into this year, also because there might be things coming, or there are things that are coming. And of course, my as the year has went on, I'm still more and more interested to see what happens with those avatars. So if I'm a year closer to the avatar, we'll see. But I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. And this is a great way to spark the beginning of the year, I think.
Yeah. And like we were saying it towards the tail end of last year, I think we had put in so much time and so much effort, and everything accumulated at Rosemont. It was almost like, okay, now we didn't know what to do. And 24, KISS really wasn't doing anything. And we were in this weird void of like, are they like done? Isn't Pop House going to do something? So the 50th anniversary for the first album kind of went by unceremoniously last year, where everybody was like, oh, we're going to get a box set. And there were some little trinkets that you could get, but there was nothing, there was a record, a gold looking record, and a t-shirt like they like to do lately. So everybody was like, that's what we're doing for the 50th. And I mean, I think a lot of us were like, that's a big milestone to hit for any band, and it kind of goes by than a whimper. Well, we just fast forward a year, and we started seeing these little nuggets of like, oh, like there's whispers of like they're going to do stuff, and we'll kind of go through that before we get to our feature topic. And then I didn't realize what I saw first before that I read, and I was like, oh, they're doing something for Strutter. Well, that seems kind of weird, but all right. Like, oh, they're just doing a 5-inch like single for Strutter, and oh, it's gold. So then I had like, in the millisecond that I was getting ready to put my lunch away for work, I shut my phone off, and I was like, wait, did that say, what was the price on that? It's not gold. My jaw, and I think every KISS fan had that sonic boom effect. See what I did there? Nick, would you like to tell the folks what the price of this real gold, not gold plated, but gold?
Well, let's just go back to the tees, right? Because and we'll talk about this later, but there's certainly been some news that was broke by those in the camp.
Yeah.
That we're going to start getting a couple of box sets this year, and the Off the Soundboard is going to return. Okay. So when they teased this, it kind of looked like it might have been a box set, right? The corner looked like a book. They mentioned Strutter. That was very weird to me. And all these thoughts went through my head. Is it the originals box set, the first 3 albums? They're going to conglomerate them all into one. Is it Kiss Alive? Dude, when I saw that, I was like 50. I mean, like, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, is this really the thing? But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, $50,000 for a pure gold. What is it? 5-inch single? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah.
It
really plays evidently.
I am a little hurt though, because I feel like my 60th birthday passed, and Rob, I mean, Nick, you're my son and you're my good friend. And I don't know. I thought maybe the two of you could have put up $25K a piece.
We talked about it
with the Strutter gold single, but I'm going to try to do my best. I'm a little upset. I'm going to try to do my best to get through the show. I'm a little hurt. I'm going to lie to you. I don't know. Is that a lot of money? Is $50,000? I mean, who comes up? Who sits there?
I can't believe this is real, by the way.
Yeah.
What is this?
I'm
in
more
waiting
disbelief.
for the gag. Yeah.
I'm still like, I haven't said much about it because like I thought I saw your I thought that was a joke. Like It's like something that, you know how we always like, we joke about like Paul and Gene and how they're trying to get money. Like we could have come up with a joke where like, you know what people will want? We'll make a gold Strutter vinyl for $50,000. Like I can't believe they really did it, first of all. And second of all, I guess it's like worth the money though, because if it's solid gold, and I know it's only one song, but that studio version of Strutter is like 18 minutes long. It's so slow. So I guess it's like you're getting a full album, like, right? Like I guess it's like you're getting a whole album.
You can't play this thing. It's just for show, right? No.
No, they said it's playable. It is supposed to really play.
Oh my.
You're lucky it's not Firehouse. That thing would have been $100,000 because that thing's 45 minutes long.
Bob, what's next? Plaster Caster?
Plaster Caster made out of plaster Paris.
Of the gentleman. I mean, what is next, dude? What are these guys going to come up with next?
Like you said, sitting in a room and go, how are we going to celebrate the 50th anniversary, the relaunch of KOL, which is supposed to be coming here pretty soon? That somebody like this is the bit we would do on the podcast, like you said, Nikko, where somebody in a boardroom at Pop House went, yeah, let's do that. Because this is the first official thing that Pop House is putting out there on the, I wouldn't say the behest, but for the band and their new thing. So if that's your launching off point, where are you going from there?
That's what makes me worried. That's what makes me worried about like, so what started happening with the box set or the vinyls, right, is they would always put it in like that combo pack where there was the shirt and stuff. That's what I'm worried about, is like how like the prices of some of these things that might be on the horizon this year. I just cannot believe can't you get something else for just $2,500 too?
I can't remember what that is now.
Yeah, there's something else, but that's still utterly laughable. Oh, you could get the gold plated vinyl that's $2,500, or the pure gold, which is $50,000. So, wow, at least there's a lesser option.
Is there a limit on those, or are you allowed to purchase
4 per customer?
It doesn't say limit. There's only 500 of each, I believe.
Say that for a second. There's only 500.
500 worldwide and ready to ship on February 18th.
Who's buying that? Like, in all honesty, who is this geared towards? It's not us.
Now I get why it's okay. I mean, this doesn't make it any better, but it says each one signed by Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. But that doesn't, I mean, at that point, I just cannot believe.
If they sell out, it's $25 million. I mean,
that's not selling out.
I mean, you know,
you can't find me the 5. If you purchase this and you listen to the show, please tell us.
Please tell us.
We're doing an experiment here. There's no way all 500 of these sell. Come on.
So let me explain something to you guys. If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't buy that.
No, because it's not, like, no disrespect to the band.
It's insulting.
It's not even, let's be serious here, right? I love this band.
When I see that, I would take $50,000 and I would immediately give it to a charity. Because
sure,
like, this is ridiculous.
Sure. I'm sure you would.
I might buy the band to play, guys. I might offer them.
If you had $50,000
makeup on, you know, I might give them a couple of $1 million to play a private party for us. But
where they only play "I Stole Your Love" on loop
and open with "I Stole Your Love," right?
And close.
Nikko could finally see it.
I would finally see it. They'll be years older,
but we're able to see "I Stole Your Love."
But like, But what's also so baffling to me is, like you said, Dad, even if I'm a billionaire and a diehard Kiss fan, like, I'm sorry, no offense, the studio version of Strutter is not worth $50,000 to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, even if they tried to make the argument that this is an incredible, I know the first single, I know, like, piece of history, but like, that's not even a really great version of the song to have. I could see if it was like, it becomes more of a big deal. I think it's validated if they did this for like the first album. I would say, okay, first album, gold, sure, but just Strutter? $50K?
Well, here the gold could go up, right? I mean, the value of this could double. It could change over time. But do you really think like 50 years from now, someone's going to be seeking these out,
No.
paying like several
No.
hundred thousands of dollars for it?
No.
It's just a bizarre thing to me. It's almost like it just doesn't really make sense to me. It's weird. Are there 500 people in the world that are going to buy these? I mean,
I don't think so.
maybe there are.
Personally.
I don't know. Is Sebastian Bach going to buy this? Is all these rock star, influenced Kiss fans? I mean, is that it just, and you're buying gold though. Remember now, you are buying gold, but still in that format, you have to sell it like that.
What do you think it costs to make?
Yeah, what would be the cost for you to get however many ounces of gold this is, and I want it in a shape instead of a gold brick.
Well, you know what? That's the other thing too. We don't know. Does it tell you the ounces and all that on there or no?
Yeah, it says here. I had it pulled up. It's right here. So it's 8 ounces of 999 pure gold. 8 ounces. Each one.
Each one, all 500 of them.
So that's what's that? I mean, 500 times 8 is, that's what 4,000 ounces of gold that they had to. What's 4,000 ounces of gold worth in this in the year of our Lord 2025 here?
So let's take the
is gold. I'm just looking. I don't know. It says as of February 20th, the price of gold is almost $3,000 per ounce. So if it's 8 ounces, it's worth half.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're paying double.
For what it's worth.
I don't know.
What if you take Gene and Paul's signature off? Is it less?
Probably.
Whatever. I mean, look.
I don't think. Yeah. Listen, I love those guys to death, but I don't know if their signatures are worth 25K total either. You know what I mean? Love those guys to death, but damn. Yeah.
The sheer fact that we're talking about this is just really crazy.
Yeah. And then the thing that always scares me is you buy it and it has to travel through the United States Post Office.
That's the other thing. Like,
what if they lose it? It gets damaged.
Well, the thing that scares me is I hope that the price point of the upcoming box sets and stuff are closer to what they were, in the neighborhood of a few $100s, especially if they are supposed to be as grandiose and as wonderful as some of the people are leading us to believe, because I'm just worried that they start pricing these box sets at $500, $600, $700, and as much as a fan of I am, I'm not sure what it would take for me to spend $500 on a Kiss box set.
Yeah.
Would I spend $250 or $300? Yes, if the right stuff's in there, if it's
gotta be good though.
It's going to be good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The 2 previous box sets were pretty good, but they've got to up the game for me to want to spend a little bit more money. And that's why I'm sitting here, and I'm just that's the stuff I'm waiting to hear. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but it's kind of a weird thing. I'm still super excited about stuff to come. It's a strange thing to put out there and tease like they did.
What has the reaction been? I'm not as wired in. Like are people?
The reaction's laughable. Like
okay,
right? Go ahead, Rob. We've been on Kiss My Wax and Shout It Out Loud podcast. I teased the Shout Out podcast. I asked them, I go, is there a minimum? And they laughed. You know how everybody's like hoarding it.
Yeah.
You're buying 5 copies of the Marble Dress to Kill.
I don't want to get his name wrong, but I think it's George Navarro, who is a big avid Kiss collector, like modern era Kiss collector. Like I think if Ace Frehley put out 12 versions of 10,000 volts, he bought all, like every variant. He's that, like his collection is amazing. And his post was like, well, they finally got me at a spot where I can't get it. Does anybody have any extra quarters? Like just the running joke. People are like, if any one person's going to get it, it's going to be him. But it's just, Yeah, the memes are just absolutely hysterical. Like it's almost to the point where if this was $1,000, there would be people that would be jumping on it.
There
Like
would be people
the
jumping.
Creatures of the Night box set where they reissued that and made it all vinyl, like glow in the dark. That was $999,
So was the
essentially a
Destroyer.
thousand
Yeah,
bucks.
so was the Destroyer one.
Destroyer, yeah.
You know, but I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, so let's hope that this is just a, I don't know. I mean, I guess who knows if this sells, you might see a couple more. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't believe that. I think if you see on the website it says like sold out at some point, I would say that that's a lie and they're
Yeah.
trying to front. I'm telling you, dude, there's no way they would be bringing in, if they sold all 500 of those, they would be bringing in like the kind of money that you make going on tour.
Yes.
That just doesn't, there's no way, right?
Oh,
There's no product a band could come out with that would equate the revenue they make from going on tour. Like, I refuse to believe that. As much as I love these jamokes, like, I love these guys. 50K for Strutter. If you would have told me, like, when we did Rosemont, if you would have said, I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen in a year and 3 months, there will be a gold Strutter vinyl for $50,000, pure gold, 8 ounces. I would have been like, no, that's the joke about like Paul and Gene doing something like that. I'm surprised, like, I can't believe that they're not like freezing themselves instead. Like, I could imagine them doing that instead of
Walt
releasing.
Disney, Paul and Gene.
I could believe them doing that before I would have ever believed they're going to try to sell a solid gold vinyl of Strutter from the first album for 50K.
You know what this is?
Trying to get their money back right away, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob. What were you
This
saying?
to me, this just popped in my head. This is the New York show gold ticket that
Yeah.
they sent out
Yeah.
for like $300, so that they were just giving these away. That I bet somebody was like, we did a gold ticket. What we should do is a gold record, and that was like gold plated. It wasn't gold.
Right.
So to me, that's the only line of thought that I could think. We did a gold ticket. Let's do a gold record. We'll do a gold plated one. Then somebody had the idea. Let's take it a step farther. We'll just do an actual gold. Even saying it, I'm waiting for us to stop the bit and be like, we're kidding. This is a dumb joke we've been doing for 3 years. This is, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Well, let's.
Hold on, wait. What song and what amount of money would you pay for gold?
I don't know if I would.
No, I wouldn't.
It would have to be. It'd have to be something along the lines of like. I'm pulling at straws here, like Sword and Stone, something that was never actually released, or
Okay.
Like
I dig that.
there was another song that Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen recorded with Gene that never got to be heard. They unearthed this thing, and it was Plaster Cast or something around that time frame where Gene was doing demos and stuff with the Van Halen brothers. Something where you're like, oh wow, this is an unheard thing. No one's ever heard it. It would have to be something super rare. And the only way you're going to be able to hear it is to buy it and put it on a record player and actually play it. There'd be no digital footprint of it at all.
Yeah, see, for me,
but even then,
yeah, there's nothing gold. There's absolutely nothing that I would pay. The only thing I'm looking to pay money for this band going forward would be high quality archive shows, if they have anything, right? Like multi. And again, I don't know what they have, what they don't have. I certainly, historical shows like Poughkeepsie and stuff are great, but the quality's not very good. Even Des Moines, it's good and all that. I mean, it's okay, but like I just don't know where. I don't know what they could do. I mean, like if they cleaned up video and some audio and really, and then put vinyl, and if they really made a box set like really elaborate, I'd be willing to fork over $400-500. Not for every one, but for the appropriate one. But that's about it, dude. I mean, there's not much. I mean, they could come to the house for free if they want. I don't really give a shit. I mean, I'm not paying to meet these guys or anything like that. So, as a fan, I'm excited about what we're going to be getting and the anniversaries and the things they're going to do. But that kind of stuff just is not, it's not worth it to me. I mean, if we never paid several $1,000s for a meet and greet, I'm certainly not going to pay $1,000, $2,000 for some kind of gold-plated album or anything like that. That's just not. And I would imagine 99% of the fan base is the same. I mean, yeah they're always going to have that 1% that have more money than they know what to do with, and they're they like to buy toys. Like, where do they get all those toys? They got the money and they're going to buy them. But this to me is a weird thing because I was so psyched after listening to some of these podcasts about these things to come, and then that's what it turned out to be. And I'm like, Jesus, really? I'm like, I'm waiting for an announcement on KISSonline. I'm waiting, Rob, for you to text me at 6 a.m. and say, go to KOL right now. It's all revamped. Everything's new. And they just hit us with boom.
Yeah.
A box set. You know what I mean? Something like that.
But doesn't that make it check your expectations? Like, the first thing out of the gate is so unattainable.
Yes.
And is not like, it's just the studio version of Strutter. There's nothing special about the audio quality.
Nothing.
So that makes me go, so what's the next box set gonna be? You're like, oh, it's a remastered version of Alive that I already have.
Right.
And one bonus song and a reprint of the tour book and a bunch of tchotchkes. Like, you're gonna have to come with something big. There's gonna have to be video and vinyl and
something, right? It's gotta be a pretty all-encompassing set, right? So we'll see. We've heard again, maybe we're speeding up here, but we've heard people say that the Off the Soundboard is going to continue, and we're supposed to get 2 box sets this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's already February. If they announce it in March, there's usually a 2-month lead time, so that's May, and then what? November before the Christmas season. I mean, do we believe
Probably.
this? No. So I would say May and November, we're probably going to get some stuff. And I mean, I like, those in the know are certainly building up the anticipation that these are going to be some incredible things. So we'll see. I don't know.
I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
I don't need solid gold Strutter because I already have a gold record. It's not solid. It's not even real gold, but it didn't need to be. Kiss should have taken the route that a far more respectable band did. That would be The Warning. We got to get The Warning. Hell You Call a Dream. And sick gold vinyl. Rob showed me Hell You Call a Dream. I own this because of Rob Myers. And you know what? This is technically gold. Is it solid? Was it $50K?
No.
Nah. This shit was like 29, and this thing is electric. And you know what? It sounds better than the studio version of Strutter. I digress. We could continue. I just had to get some Warning content in there. It's what we said we would do every show.
Our analytics just ticked up where
we just gained 500 followers. Yeah.
So welcome to the Warning podcast.
As long as you promo that, we're in good shape.
As long as you show this as like the thumbnail,
yeah,
we're good. Okay.
It is. I may cut this and put
it.
That is definitely the cold opening of the show right there.
It has to be.
right at the beginning, that's a thumbnail. Cha-ching!
I will shout them out once more.
All right, warning. So the last thing on just this topic, now I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I was looking while you were getting ready to show that, Nikko, which is really cool. I was looking at the anniversaries that potentially, and I don't have the math worked out on my spreadsheet of like, oh, it's the 30th anniversary of this, the 40th anniversary of this. So Asylum is September 16th, 1985. I'm trying to do some quick math. You have
that would be 40 years of Asylum.
Yeah, 40 years of Asylum. Thank you. You have Alive, it's celebrating its 50th.
Just to Kill 50th.
Just to Kill 50. Where's my other 5s? I think that's about it.
Right?
I'm sure there's more. I'd have to go through and figure, but for people saying that we're getting 2 box sets. I'm trying to think what album you're going to do that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing, and what potentially could be inside of it. Do you have like it other than Alive? What would be?
Yeah. So obviously the first choice has to be Alive. I mean, Alive is essentially their first album.
Mhm.
If you understand what I'm saying to you, it's the
Yeah.
album that
We
broke
understand.
them. And I think that in the past there was always a rumor that there were a box set coming out of the shows. Several shows were recorded. Like I said, King Biscuit did some. And I think there's some real raw recordings that are not as touched up as you will as the final product, what Eddie Kramer did. And I think that that's a pretty worthy inclusion in an Alive box set. I mean, again, the set list doesn't vary a lot. You're only talking about maybe a handful of songs here and there, maybe 3 or 4 different songs. But if you package that the right way with the original album, maybe a few shows, and then the key to this is video. And
Gotta be. It's
they
gotta
have
be.
those Kobo shows. I don't know how much they could clean them up, but we certainly have the ability now to make them look better than the Kiss Vision versions and all the bootlegs. And they got to look better than what we've got on Kissology. There was really only the one show, right, that they have
Yeah.
on there. So I think if you package that together with a tour book, trinkets, I could see the coloring now of the silver and the black. I think that that's good. Maybe there is a one of the other podcast shows, Three Sides of the Coin. I think his name is Mark Cicchini.
Mhm.
Seemed to be heavily involved with this project. Talks about this unbelievable find. I don't know if it's the first box set, but I think that's good. I will turn it over to you guys. I don't know what the second box set would be. I really don't know. Would it be an Asylum box set? Is it a non-makeup box set? I don't know. I mean, to me, again, I don't know. I mean, what's going to move the needle here? They're trying to move product. Alive moves the product. Alive 2 is a big thing. In my humble opinion, those are really the 2 biggest things they could release that would be big sellers. I mean, we've talked before about the reunion tour, which never really was properly released on video.
Right.
And we've only got the Donington show, but what box set would that be? There was no album. I don't think they're doing a Psycho Circus box set, do you?
Are we being closed-minded that the box set has to be an album box set?
No.
What if it's a box set like a reunion box set?
Yeah, well, that would be fantastic.
This
guy here would love that.
Mhm.
And I'm going to take this one further as I throw it to you. I was also on the Steve Hoffman forum. I don't know if you know that, Robert.
I've heard the name, but I haven't been on.
Yeah, I belong to that. I'll show you. It's it's all kind of, it's not Kiss, it's everybody. And there was a guy on there saying that one of the box sets is not the original 4. And it took everybody down a rabbit hole. Is it Asylum? Is it Lick It Up? Is it Crazy Nights?
Can I make a guess?
Go ahead.
So I want to ask a clarification question first. There's someone who's saying that there was a crazy find. And is that leading to a box set or no? That's just something else.
They're saying that if you're a Kiss fan, you're going to be blown away by something that they had that in the trading circle. So it must be a live show.
Okay.
It's never even been discussed. See, the good thing about
I don't know what that would be.
Point podcast from Mark Cicchini was he's saying that this is what makes things special is when we have all this stuff, right? We just talked about the Alive box set, right?
Mm.
We all pretty much have those Kobo videos, right?
Yeah.
The Biscuit stuff is out there. I personally don't have it. I had it at one time, and it wasn't a lot, Rob. It wasn't the full show.
No.
Maybe the full show. Maybe they found the reels, and they've got full shows, multiple nights. I don't know.
One thing I keep hearing is the Palladium, Eric Carr's first performance in his original makeup.
Okay.
And the only U.S. show. And there is a version of it that exists, but it's crappy amongst crappy. The closest stage shot that they have is filmed by a news crew and you're like right on top of Eric, but there's no like full band. So that makes me think, okay, if it's not the original four, it's Ace and Eric, but are you going to go something like a Revenge, an Asylum?
Or
Because
Unmasked. Could it be?
You know,
Unmasked?
Unmasked,
My-
yeah.
My guess is actually something that's way less cool than everything. And I'm doing this guess for two reasons. One, feel like if you set expectations low, you'll be blown away by whatever it is.
Right.
Two, I do think now they were pretty impressive with Off the Soundboard. All of them were pretty cool. I know quality, that's a different story. What?
Not Virginia Beach.
No. I'm saying that was abysmal. But they still were all like, huh, there's some cool things in here. I still am shocked, and this will be boring. Are we sure it's not like an end of the road thing? I can't believe they didn't put out something more from the end.
They were supposedly filming a documentary
The doc, yes. I'm saying, like, what if it's a box set where you get the doc, there's a live show, maybe they recorded the
Dubai.
I was just gonna say they put Dubai in there. The audio of Dubai.
All the merch is inside there that we all paid for.
Which has Strutter on it, by the way. Bring the gold thing full circle. They played that towards the end of the show. But like that is the reason why I'm thinking that is I feel like they went out of their way to immortalize and your opinions on this, that's besides the point. It feels like they really went out of their way at the end to honor, Tommy and Eric. And why do I feel like that's the lineup of four that person's alluding to? Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm just so surprised that for as much as they love Tommy and Eric, I'm surprised they haven't done something more official release from End of the Road. I feel like with now and all the technology and all the shows, like they must have something, or they think it doesn't sound good and they won't do it. But I'm still shocked that like there's no. I would bet on that. I'm probably wrong, but I still am like.
I'm surprised a
End of the
year
road.
after there wasn't a commemorative live album, DVD, something, a streaming service that Doc McGee alluded to a long time ago. You pay for a subscription. Everybody's got a streaming platform, just like Bon Jovi had. You go pay X number dollars and you can watch all these shows and all the music videos, and you don't got to go to YouTube, and they're making all the revenue, and every month they're putting up a new show or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that wouldn't float my boat at all.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's a boring one.
We know that a large portion of it wasn't live. I mean, I'll certainly look forward to this documentary they're putting together, but I think they know. I think they know what the fans want. And you brought up a pretty interesting thing. I do think.
Do they? Because they just put out a $50,000 gold record. Do they know what we want?
I do think these box sets are album
more. Okay.
I do. I could be wrong, but I do think two box sets. I do think they're pretty confident that they're obviously representing an album. They do talk about though, like off the soundboards, and they do talk about all eras too, though.
Yeah.
They do say that in that presser, in that interview with the one guy from the auction, that all eras will be covered and will be celebrated.
Bruce Kulick, the Bruce Kulick era has not been represented in Off the Soundboard, either with Eric Carr or Eric Singer. Like Eric Carr and Mark St. John have got one. Eric Singer has got one with Tommy Thayer, but Bruce Kulick in any entity isn't. To me, if you're going to do Off the Soundboard, we better get a Hot in the Shades show. Easily.
That's a good set list.
Easily. Great set list. I Store Your Love opens the show.
Yep. I would also take a Crazy Nights tour.
Amen.
I would. Yeah.
That'd be fun too.
It had to be that, because those were some good set lists too. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope that. I don't think we're getting anything tomorrow because I think it would be too quick right after this gold. thing is announced. So I think right now I got my eyes set on maybe early March when something's going to be announced. And
Yeah.
listen, I go to Kiss FAQ. I go to that thing every day, a couple times a day, because I'm
Ditto.
kind of seeing if there's any kind of news or anything. It usually pops on there, and someone will, that's where I caught the podcast of, hey, listen, these guys, without telling you what's coming, there's stuff coming, and so remember now, I don't think Paul and Gene too are really like have much to do with this anymore. They got their money.
Yeah.
So I mean,
if anything, it's going to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. Maybe they've got like sign off, like, yeah, that sounds good.
And it does seem like Pop House is working with the Kiss collectors around and asking advice and whatnot like that, which I think is a pretty good thing. I'm just skeptical with these guys because the quality's not always great, and a lot of times they look at historical significance over quality, but it's like anything else. I mean, that Poughkeepsie show, I mean, again, it's got a little history to it, but I don't know that I'll ever listen to it again. And I listen to Donington because the quality's pretty good, and it's a good show. Des Moines is okay, but I don't listen to the whole show. I mean, it's good.
Des Moines' a commitment. Des Moines relies on the historical thing hard. But
a lot of their stuff does, like Paris 76, that crap that they put out. I mean,
well, but that wasn't like, that's not even listenable though. At least Des Moines, you could.
Creatures was pretty good.
Yeah.
Except you have to listen to Paul talk about his, in that one part. That's abysmal.
I had kind of forgotten that until
I didn't.
Just said it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't forget it, Rob.
It's burned in his brain.
I don't think I will forget that ever in my life. I think about it once a month. Far too often. Far too often.
So anything else on to me, if nothing else, this is getting us talking about and getting excited for like what could be coming.
Yeah.
And kind of like rechurn that wheel, like, okay, they've been air quotes gone a year. And I can't say this on air. I'll have to say it off because I'm doing something, but there's a bit that's going to be played. I'll tell you guys.
What about Gene touring? I mean, the set list, I mean, it wasn't really that great. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting to see Nick if he comes close. He's going to be in Rockford, but again, that's a long ride for us to see what I don't really know is. I saw the set list last night. I mean, it's not particularly.
What is it? Hold on, wait. I have to look it up.
Weapons of Mass Destruction from A-Hole. He's doing
He does Charisma,
which is cool.
But a lot of Kiss songs. I mean, a lot of Kiss songs. Where
Radioactive.
No, was it on there? I didn't see that on the.
I think originally he was doing it, and I don't think it's on there now.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the new one. The show from the other night. What do you see?
He only does like 11 songs. That's ridiculous.
Right. It's not long.
No, dude. I'm sorry. No offense to him. This set list ain't it, dude.
Commitment, for me to go see Gene, and I love Gene, and I.
Yeah, I mean,
but you'd have to give me about 15 songs, and you'd have to have Radioactive in there, and you'd have to have maybe She's So European.
Unholy.
You got to have a couple songs in there, Gene. Maybe Domino. Something. You got to do it where like maybe you got 4 or 5 nuggets in there.
He's doing an unreleased song.
Yes.
That would have been on Monster. Yes. Like it's called Are You Ready or something like that.
Right.
Are You Ready? Yeah.
Are You Ready? It says
yeah. So it would have been on
Monster. So no.
I'm not ready to see Gene.
Yeah, I'm not ready to see Gene.
It's going to take a little bit more for me to.
I would see Paul.
Well, we all would see Paul.
No matter what the set list is.
I got to see Paul.
Yeah.
In 2007.
That was a good show.
Live to Win. It's good.
Yeah. I wasn't old enough to go to the House of Blues, right? I think that's why we didn't go at the time. I was 12.
That was an age 21 and over venue?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Okay. Oh, because serving alcohol.
House of Blues. Great venue. I love it. I've seen incredible shows there, but it is. I think at the time, because that was right during my Kiss explosion.
Yeah, it really
It was in that couple year span, 05, 06, and then that show was in 07. I remember getting that album the day it came out. That's not a bad album. Live to Win's a pretty good album by Paul, actually.
Live to Win is a decent effort.
It's pretty good.
I want to talk about Live to Win this year. I need to.
We should
figure out.
Lift is it's.
I love
the song. Lift is great. There's another one that's really good.
October 24th.
Bulletproof is a really good one, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Darn it! Now I need to watch that concert. So
it's also in an episode of South Park when they play.
It is
World of Warcraft. They play Live to Win, and it's actually pretty electric. I won't lie to you.
It is pretty good.
Well, speaking of set lists, we'll move into unless you guys have anything else on.
No, I think that's it. I think that I hope we didn't do a bad job of tempering what's coming, because again, I'm really, I'm excited to, it sounds crazy, but I'm excited every day when I get up. I'm always looking now because I'm being told that things are coming, and it's funny when you know you're going to get something from one of your favorite things that you enjoy, and you don't know exactly what it is yet. And it's pretty fascinating, right? Because, a lot of these groups, they already tell you ahead of time, oh, we're putting an anniversary box set of something, and you're just waiting to see the contents. With KISS, they're not going to just announce it. You're going to get everything at one time. You're going to know exactly what's on it.
Yeah.
And what's going on. So,
would you say you wake up looking because something seems to happen to you every night?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say I wake up screaming.
Okay.
You know what that's from?
No.
Wake up screaming.
It's in Live to Win.
Live to Win.
Oh, it's on Live to Win. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't remember that track list, but I remember, a couple of
good
bangers.
Good pull from a deep cut from the Creatures box set.
Oh yeah, because you both liked the song. I think was that it. Yeah, that was the thing that happened that night.
Because you still think it's a bit that we're doing.
Yeah.
There's another one he liked though, Rob. What was the other song he liked that I'm like, there's no way.
No, I do like it. I don't know what it is, but
I can't remember what it is, and it's just out of my reach. I can't.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I think it was something on Gene's solo album. No, it might have been something off Gene's solo album.
Could be.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and Rob, this is an edit for you. As you're editing this, go back to Gene's solo album. And that's where we're going to end the episode. This was one, as we recorded, we had such a good discussion there at the beginning, and it was almost a 2-hour recording. And then once I did the little memoriam for Karl Cochran, I started going, we're kind of getting a little bit big in the episode. And I think sometimes as podcasters, or, this is for you, Nikko, as you review films now on YouTube. So go check out Nikko. I'm going to put his information down here as well here in just a moment. But sometimes when you shoot and record something, things kind of just go by. And then as you get into the editing bay, you start going, there's some stuff we can take out, but the discussions were really good. And I didn't want it to seem overly bloated on one side of going, oh, now I got a whole nother, hour to go for the main topic, when this discussion was so good. It's the first episode for the new year for us. Unfortunately, we've kind of missed the first couple months of the year, but I kind of wanted to do a filmmaker style here and kind of cut this into 2 parts. So episode 66 will be the next episode, will be the second half of what you just saw here for our main topic. And as I was editing this together and I was kind of making notes of maybe where I wanted to make some cuts, I was kind of like, wow, we were really kind of on a groove talking. You could kind of tell we were all just having fun with one another, and I kind of wanted to preserve both of those. I didn't want to start editing in the back half of our discussion. So we just banked a second episode by doing this. So episode 66 will be out. If I can get all this wrapped up at the time you're watching this, this is Saturday, the 8th of March at 8:26 p.m. And I'm going to release this, hopefully it's going to happen on Sunday. And then this coming Thursday, I am hoping with work and everything else to get the second part of this up. So the second part, we'll just kind of like spoil it here. It's an MSN article that I saw a couple weeks ago from the time that we recorded this, that they did this. They'll put up, little articles of bands and the top 25 songs of this. This was MSN's definitive top 25 Kiss songs for your playlist. So that's what's coming up. Thanks for watching this episode and helping us get RBTE back on its feet again. And I've got to read everyone's social medias here. You can follow Mr. Caruso at N Caruso on X, and Nikko Caruso, that's scrolling here as well, on Twitter at Nikko Caruso and Caruso Jr. For Nick. And then you can follow me at Drummer Rob 10. Nikko has a YouTube podcast. My Rogue Record Music podcast on YouTube has been kind of stagnant lately. I'm getting ready to go see Dream Theater this Sunday, tomorrow actually, at the time I'm filming this. So I'm going to be doing a Dream Theater episode talking about the concert and all that stuff. But more from us coming up for the rest of the year. We're committed to keeping this train rolling and bringing out content. And just from hearing us talk on this episode, there's wind back in the sail, at least for the Kiss machine moving forward, so we can buy, all this stuff and nothing else, keeping the legacy of the band moving forward for generations. So I'm hoping they have more stuff in the vault and things that we just didn't even realize that they had. So this is where we're going to end episode 65. Thanks for tuning in and watching on YouTube and primarily on our audio podcast. Thank you for everyone supporting and listening to the show. Sorry we've been gone for a while, but we're back. Thanks for watching and listening to Right Between the Eyes podcast, a podcast with 3 generations telling you why we love it loud. For Nick and Nikko, I'm Rob. We'll see you in the next episode.